So very exciting. Good morning. Let me make sure this is straight so we can get into it today. Good morning. Happy live day. My name is Atanosa. If you haven't joined me or have seen my channel, really happy that you are here. I always start off by saying I'm just a 30-something-year-old girl who's trying to figure out life. And today, I really just kind of want to go into and let's have a chit chat. It's Saturday morning. I have a full day, but this has kind of been on my mind that I wanted to get into. If getting dressed lately feels harder than it used to be, it's not because you've lost your style, it's because you've changed. And that alone has just kind of been resonating on my life, especially now that I'm in my 30s. Literally, my birthday is next week and I'll be 32 years old. And I feel like I've just had this like epiphany. Your 30s just ask for something different. Your life is fuller, your priorities feel a little bit clearer. I feel more confident in myself, and dressing the same way you did before just like doesn't really quite fit. It doesn't feel aligned is the word we're going to use today. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to find your personal style in your 30s without chasing trends, without forcing an aesthetic, and without feeling like you need to like reinvent yourself, rebrand to feel confident again. Because I think that dressing is all about confidence. I think it's about feeling good in your body, in yourself as things change. Um, but yeah, if that resonates with you, I would love for you to just kind of like join the journey. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've got my notes here. So if you see me looking down, it's because maybe I don't really go live all that often. And so we're just getting into the practice of um, going live, having a topic, and making sure that we're sharing information. So, like I said, we're going to go into how to find your personal style in your 30s, building your confidence. So, why does your style feel harder in your 30s? You can't tell me. I don't know about you, but from my teenage years into my 20s, there was this like experimental phase. There was a lot of DIYs I was doing. I was one of those girls with the cut off t shirts. Tie dye was my thing of choice. But I think one of the biggest lies that we internalize for ourselves is that style should be easier with age. But honestly, I think it honestly gets harder first because your body may have changed, your schedule has definitely changed, your life just has more layers within it. You have work, you have relationships, you have responsibility, you have rest. And I want to really emphasize rest right there because that is a part of your life. I don't know about you, but I know I'm getting tired in my 30s. I'm getting tired in my 30s. I love a good nap. I love to just relax. I love to leisure. I love to do those things. And when I was in my 20s, when I was a teenager, I was just go, 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 go. My schedule was packed with so many activities, and I had the energy to keep up with that. And as fast as life is moving, the trends are truly moving faster. So if you were trying to keep up with those trends and you just feel like you're always behind or like nothing in your closet actually reflects who you are anymore, rest assured, nothing is wrong with you. You've just outgrown copying. So many of the trends we see out there in the aesthetics is like copy, paste. Inspiration is no longer inspiration. It is how do I get that exact thing and put it on myself? And in your 30s, I feel like there's this like revolution that you're just like, I don't want to do that no more. I don't want to go out of my way to look exactly like her. And you have to think to yourself, like, you know yourself well enough that you know that looking at somebody with that exact same outfit might not look the same for you. Am I right? Am I right? But okay, so we're going to be redefining what personal style actually is. I think it's really important to understand what personal style is and go from there. Because personal style isn't just an aesthetic, it's not just the vibe, even though I'm always here for the vibes. And it's definitely not just Pinterest board, like I said. Like with Pinterest, you find a lot of like inspiration and you say, oh my gosh, I'm going to build this thing and that's going to be me. The real definition, or how I like to define personal style, is how you want to feel in your clothes and how those clothes support what? Your life. Your life. Not my life, not her life, not anybody else's life. How it supports your life and how you're actually living. For me, style lives in this intersectionality of four things: comfort, always, expression, functionality, and the key thing, confidence. If your outfit looks good, but you can't move, sit, or exist in it, that's not personal style. That's performance, right? Like, why are you wearing something that is just here for quote unquote the vibe, for the aesthetics, but you can't breathe, you can't sit down, you can't eat, you can't drink, you can't do all these things, and it becomes very restrictive. I'm a big proponent of find the things that release all of that, right? Once you release the pressure to look like something, it becomes so much easier to just kind of like dress for yourself. So there is a 4-step process to finding your personal style that I'm going to walk you through. Step 1, study yourself and not Pinterest. I always say things about personal style that it is, I say this not only about personal style, but I think about this in like social media when you're like creating your brand and stuff like that. It is it's very reflective, a very reflective practice. The first step to all of this is observation and not inspiration. I think you have to take inventory about who you are now, who you are naturally, what you naturally reach for, what outfits make you forget what you're wearing, right? Like you just want to be comfortable, you want to be able to do those things and just live life. When do you feel most like yourself? So you have to ask yourself, what do you naturally reach for? What outfits make you forget that you're wearing them? And when do you feel most like yourself? Your habits tell the truth before your mood boards do. Your habits tell the truth before your mood boards do. Instead of asking, what do I want to look like? Ask, when do I feel calm? When do I feel confident? When do I feel most like me? Keywords there are most like me. Step 2 on all of this is define your non-negotiables. This is something that I really started to learn in my 30s. I had this weird epiphany in my 20s. And I was like, especially when I was building my confidence, was I didn't have a backbone. I didn't stand for anything kind of thing. I was just in the wind. I didn't have boundaries. I didn't have non-negotiables. So step 2 is like define your non-negotiables. This is where your style is going to feel sustainable because now you have those boundaries. Here are the things you're going to say yes to, and here are the things you're going to say no to. You actually have to ask yourself 3 questions. What fabrics do I actually like? 1. What fits make me feel grounded and not restricted? And 3, what shoes can I walk in without thinking about it? I know that seems like a silly little question, but like, I just think you have to be like aware of the decisions that you're making, right? It doesn't necessarily mean the actual shoes. Like, I love a good heel. Do I always feel comfortable in a good heel? Absolutely not. But sometimes I do want to sit in the aesthetic, and I'm okay knowing that when I make that decision for myself, I'm also agreeing to being uncomfortable for a little bit. Or I ask myself, where am I going? Am I going to have to walk a lot? Are my shoes going to fit my lifestyle? Am I going to be so uncomfortable that I want to go home? Do I want to go home? So these aren't necessarily, I wouldn't call them limitations. They're more about clarity. And clarity is what we're really trying to get to when it comes to personal style, because style becomes easier when you just stop fighting yourself. Just say what you like, just say what you don't like, and keep it pushing and keep it pushing. And I think it's okay to be like really clear with yourself on that and really confident with your non-negotiables. Step 3, before really defining your personal style, is edit before you add anything into your closet. I think there are so many times where we want to rush into an aesthetic. We want to rush into a trend. We want to rush into like building out our wardrobe to find these pieces and discover ourselves. I don't know about you, but I don't got all the money in the world, and I want to be smart with how I spend my money. If your closet already feels overwhelming, it's probably because it's full of almost me clothes. Almost me clothes. Pieces you brought for a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. Excuse me, hold on. That doesn't exist anymore. Where was I? Style clarity usually comes from subtraction. taking things away, removing things, clearing things out, making space, right? I think we're so used to just like having clutter. I don't know about you, but a lot of times, like I'm on social media and I love watching them. Don't get me wrong. I love a girl who has a big old closet and has all the things and has a catalog of clothes. Chef's kiss. But I also realize with those people, like they have a collection and they're also still very intentional about what they add into their closet. So before you add anything, make sure you're subtracting things, removing things that don't align with who you are today. Letting go of clothes that do not fit your body, your life, your energy, create space for intention. I really want to harp on letting go of clothes that don't fit your body is a very freeing experience. I don't think we understand how much space it takes, how much wasted anxiety, unnecessary, let me say that, unnecessary anxiety we have because we still have clothes in our closets that do not fit our body today. And we're going to squeeze into it and we're going to say, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I used to fit in this, blah, blah, blah. Like that loop, that loop is going to crush your confidence and it's going to make you feel like your clothes don't fit you. And that's true. Your clothes don't fit you and who you are today. So I'm really going to encourage you to let it go. Let it go. And because once you start to have clothes in your closet that you can just pick up and you know fits, come on now. You know that feels good. You know that feels good. Okay, let's get into step 4. Step 4 is practice in low stake moments. You've got to have the confidence, right? And I think confidence is something that you build. So you can't just wake up with it. It's something, like I said, you practice, you put into play. If you're like, hey, I do want to experiment with my style, but I'm nervous because like I have this event and I don't want to look stupid and does this actually go? Do it in a low stake environment. You're going to go run errands. You're going to go grab a coffee. And those are perfect times to try outfits on that allow you to experiment, allow you to say, hey, like I know not that many people might see me, or I don't feel like I have to interact with people I necessarily know who might perceive me in a certain way. Like build your confidence, because what's really happening is like you need to get to a place where you're experimenting, you're doing something outside or being around public, and you feel good. You need those 3 pieces in order to start to build it. Like you took the time to put it on, you thought about it, you were intentional, you said, hey, I feel really good about this, you dissected it, and then you went outside and then you lived your life. You lived your life as you, because this outfit that you put on reflects who you are today. It reflects how good you feel in your body. It reflects the confidence that you had to like really go outside and present yourself to the world. So those are the 4 steps to finding your personal style. 1, like I said, study yourself, not Pinterest. Really take the time to like reflect on who you are right now in your life. Step 2, find your non-negotiables. Have a backbone. Tell yourself, you know what, I don't like 4-inch heels. Be specific with your non-negotiables too, because like you might like a 2-inch chunky heel. You might like a 2-inch wedge. Like that is you, and that's okay. You might like flats kind of thing, and you might just deep dive into flats, deep dive into 2-inch block heels, deep dive into all these things. Maybe you realize, you know what, I hate feeling itchy. Learn what itchy actually means. Is it because you're wearing wool? Is it because you're wearing polyester? Learn about those things. I think it's really important to understand the feelings around it and define the non-negotiables. Step 3, edit before you add. There is no reason for you to be adding pieces into your clothes when your closet overwhelms you. Okay? Take some stuff out, especially the clothes that do not fit you. Get rid of that anxiety in your closet. Stop thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to do this when I'm skinny. Da, da, da. Stop that. Stop that. Take it out. Let it go. Bring joy into your closet. And the last step is practice in low stakes environment. The coffee runs, the errand runs, the meeting up with a friend, I just want to get dressed so I can feel how I feel. those are the moments where you're just going to start practicing building up your confidence in your style. All right. The next aspect of finding your personal style or finding your personal style in your 30s is the common style mistakes that we make in our 30s. Okay. Here are a few things that I see a lot, and maybe you can recognize one of these for yourself. Dressing age appropriate instead of authentically. I did grow up hearing about that. You know what? Let me get to the point. Dressing age appropriately instead of authentically. Waiting for your body to change before investing in clothes. I already said that. And buying outfits instead of building a wardrobe system. And then lastly, dressing for how you want to be perceived instead of how you want to feel. Your clothes should support your life, not the version of yourself you're hoping to become one day. I want to take it all the way back to dressing age appropriately. It's super interesting. There's so many different life changes that we go through, specifically as women, when we just age, right? And I think there's this concept of like, oh my gosh, you're like a teenager in your 20s, your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, X, Y, and Z. And I have been consuming a lot of content specifically from like older women in their 50s and their 60s who are breaking free of that, right? They're like, I want to dress how I want to dress, how I feel kind of thing. Like style, personal style and fashion just doesn't stop when you're quote unquote old. You know what I mean? Like people love to harp on women. Oh, you shouldn't dress like that because you're this and you're that and age appropriate. You're in your 30s and you're this and that. I know I dedicated myself for the rest of my life to dress how I feel and not my age kind of thing. I'm sure it will evolve and I'm sure like I'll feel it, but I do want to challenge that concept of like dressing age appropriately versus authentically. I hope that I'm still vibrant. Okay. I hope I'm still bubbly and I hope that my personal style still reflects that as I get older. I've said the second one before, waiting for your body to change before investing in clothes. We put so much pressure on ourselves to be a certain way. And I think personal style is really personal. It's a really personal journey in accepting who you are, where you are, kind of thing. I have never been somebody who really takes a look at the number or fusses over the number. Let me say that. I don't necessarily fuss over the number because I want to be comfortable. If I'm usually a size 10 and the size 10 is not fitting, I'm going to get the 12. If the 12 is not fitting, I'm going to get the 14. If this, it fluctuates and we have to be okay with that because like if you really love the piece and it really aligns with who you are and your personal style and how you dress authentically, get the thing that fits. Get the thing that fits you today. It fits your body today because it will look so much better on you and you'll feel so much better. Buying outfits instead of building a wardrobe system. I think people know the concept of like a capsule wardrobe. And I think a capsule wardrobe is really important. For you can have your, well, I don't want to say aesthetic, you can have your personal style be a capsule wardrobe where you can mix and match. But I do think it's really important to understand like, is that the system that works for you to dress authentically? Or have you been force fed the capsule wardrobe because it's easy and this is the aesthetic and it's nudes and you can have 7-11 different outfits with 12 pieces. Like if that is who you are and if that is a part of your lifestyle and how you live your life, chef's kiss, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying like it's a bad system. I'm just forcing you to ask yourself, does this fit, one, my lifestyle, and two, who I am? And is this authentically me? Is it authentically you to have a capsule wardrobe with all nudes and basics? Ask yourself that. I think it's important to have that as a foundation to build up your personal style because I will not lie. I love a good basic white tee. And when I have realized recently, I don't like Hanes. I don't like Hanes white tees. I don't like how they wear. I don't like how they wash. I don't like what happens to them after I maybe get a stain on them. I just don't like it. So I invest in higher quality white t-shirts, right? Sometimes I like it oversized, sometimes I like it cropped, sometimes all of these things. It's important to have the foundational wardrobe system that feeds into your personal style. And lastly, are you dressing to how you want to be perceived or how you actually want to feel? I think this one is like a both and. Sometimes I do want to be perceived in a certain way, and that's okay. I think it's okay, but I think you have to be very mindful and very conscious of like why you are getting dressed if you want to be perceived in a certain way. Sometimes I want to feel like a boss. Okay, I'll put those 6-inch heels on, put my slacks on, put a blazer on, and I might, again, the trade off might be I might be a little bit uncomfortable in those 6-inch heels, but I love the way that I feel. I feel empowered. I feel confident in myself, kind of thing. I love the energy I'm walking into a space with. And I love that I know that people are going to receive that and they're going to perceive me in this way. And that is how I want to feel. So think about those things. Are you dressing for how you want people to perceive you, which think about that, or how you want to feel? And both can go like hand in hand. Moral of the story is like dress for the things that like really support your life. And once I kind of had all of those things in my back pocket and I'm developing my personal style, the things that changed when, and I wouldn't say that I have found it, I found my personal style. I would say that the things that changed when I dedicated myself to leaning into my personal style, and I stopped dressing for trends and started dressing for myself, life softened. It just felt softer. I felt more grounded, more confident, less performative. Um, it stopped feeling like a question mark and started feeling like an extension of who I already am. And that has been a game changer. That confidence just didn't stay in my closet. It showed up in how I moved through my day, how I showed up creatively, and how I trusted myself. I think that for the majority of my life, not that I wanted to fit in, right? Like I wanted to quote unquote be like in the same caliber as people that I saw on like social media. Or I'm like, oh my gosh, they have this designer, so I need this designer because that's where I wanna be in life, blah 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 blah, X, Y, and Z. And I really had to one think to myself, like, yes, I can enjoy the piece. There are some pieces till this day, there are some pieces that I'll like watch from creators. I'm like, oh my gosh, chef's kiss. But it's not because like I want to be you. I want to be myself, and this is an extension of myself. I feel like I discovered something new, that I know that I'm actually going to wear, not to like play dress up, but because it is an extension of who I am in my personality. And I think that's why it's really important to make sure you're following people who kind of align to who you are, who kind of look like you as well, who have similar body types, who speak like you, and stuff like that. But even in my day to day, like today, I debated on if I was going to come on live wearing this like t-shirt and I'm wearing some like comfy yoga pants because I was like, are people going to perceive me as quote unquote stylish if I come on here in my comfy clothes? Today, I have a Pilates class I need to go to, and then I have like a Valentine's Day that at the end of the day. But this morning is a slow morning. I'm on YouTube live. I'm talking about personal style, and I think it's really important to see how personal style is a lived in experience. I'm so comfortable. I'm so comfortable. I feel amazing. I think I look really good. I love a dark chocolate brown. Like I feel like this really goes with my personal aesthetic, and I feel put together. I didn't rush and do all these things, but I was intentional about like what I wore, right? I know this is a good outfit. I know it fits me. I've worn it multiple times before. I did like a little bit to my face kind of thing. And that's what I mean when my life softened. I didn't overthink those things. I don't have any anxiety about how I'm showing up online because I feel good in myself. And that is the confidence I'm talking about. Like it comes out of my closet and into the world, into socials, into onto the internet. And I hope that like I can be an example of somebody who is getting a lot more confident in my personal style and showing up how I want to show up. And I got a backbone about it. Okay. So that's really what the biggest thing that changed once I did that. And we, it's definitely been interesting. It's definitely been a journey to be in my 30s and finding my personal style. I hope that this video was super helpful for you guys. If any of this resonated with you, I want you to like reflect on some of these questions. If you are trying to find your personal style in your 30s, what version of you are you dressing for right now? Really think about that. Really think about that. What version of you are you dressing for right now? Let me know in the comments what feels hardest about getting dressed lately. What are you currently redefining in your style? And my plan is in the next video, the next live. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna try to go live a little bit more often. We'll see. In my next video, I'll be talking about how to dress for yourself. Now, trends, not algorithm, just you, just you. And if you want to stay in this conversation, don't forget to subscribe, join the channel. Would love to have you here. Check out some of my other videos. Right now, I am preparing my home for our housewarming. And if that is your vibe, I'd love to have you. Okay, so we're going to call it a day. We're going to get started with the rest of the day. Thanks for joining me. I will see you next time.